So we're going to use a 9 by 12 inch piece of paper, but we have to prepare it into squares so that it looks similar to Kandinsky's concentric circle painting, which we're trying to mimic. So we're going to take our paper and fold it right in half. We're then going to take the bottom half and again fold it in half. We're going to flip it around and fold this one in half as well, up to that halfway point. And we'll open it up. And the other way, we're gonna fold it into thirds. This one we're gonna eyeball a little bit to see what's halfway. Fold it into place. And I'll take the other one and complete the thirds. Now when I open all of that up, I should have 12 different squares on my paper, and I'm going to take watercolors and I'm going to paint a different color in each of those squares. So I've got my watercolors set up, just gonna flatten my paper a little bit so it's easier to paint. And I'm going to go through the steps of each section being a different color. So I'll wash, wipe, wiggle my brush, and I'll just start painting inside of those squares. You can always rotate your paper as needed. You also don't have to go in a certain order. Maybe you want to scatter the colors around on your paper, the different sections. Okay, so one of my squares is done, and I'm going to go ahead and repeat that step. So now that our background is all painted, we have our squares ready. We're just gonna put that to the side, and I'm going to get some scrap paper. And this is gonna be what we make all of our hearts out of. Now we're gonna need scissors, we're gonna need a glue sponge, and we're gonna need a lot of scraps of paper. Now, the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna take one of these little heart stickers, and I'm gonna put it on a piece of paper. Not right in the middle though, because I don't want to put something in the middle and then have to do all this work to go all the way to the center to cut. I'll just put it somewhere toward an edge, somewhere toward the outside. Now, I'm going to create a bubble cut around my heart. So I'm just going to create another sort of heart shape, and I'm going to follow the outline of my heart sticker that I put down. And I want to leave a little space, so it should look like a bubble is around the sticker. So now I'm going to take another background color. Let's say I'll do this patterned one. And I'm going to take my glue sponge and put a little glue on the back of that little piece I did, and glue it down now toward an edge of a new piece of paper. Make it nice and flat. And now I'm going to repeat that step and create another bubble outline. So I should be able to see some of that new color paper around the last one that I did. Go nice and slowly. Concentrate so you can make sure you're creating a bubble. And now I have another layer for my heart. I'm gonna repeat that step. I'll take another piece of scrap paper, put some glue on my heart, and glue it down so that I can see an edge around this one. Press it onto the new paper, and again, create another bubble cut. Now you're obviously going to be sharing all of this scrap paper, so as soon as you're done using one of the colors, just put it in the middle of the table and someone else might want to use that same color. You could get a lot of different hearts out of these scraps. So again, I've got another layer. Now I'm going to actually take my background and I'm going to see if I still need to add more layers to it. Okay, so maybe I'll put this one in this corner. So that actually fits perfectly. So I think I'm gonna stop there. I'm also gonna see what color I like this on. I actually did like it on that lime green with the green contrast. So I'm gonna take my glue sponge, and if it fills the space enough, I'm gonna stop with the outlining, with the bubbles, and I'm gonna place it on the square that I want until it's nice and filled in that section. Once it's on there, I'm just gonna flip it upside down and make sure it's really in place. And then that one is done. Now I'm gonna go ahead and repeat that same process again for another square. So once again, I'm gonna take a heart to start with. I'm going to pick a piece of paper to start with. I'll put one on there. I'm gonna create a bubble cut right around it. I wanna see that yellow on the new paper. And again, these don't have to be perfect. They're not meant to be a perfect outline of a heart. They're really just meant to create a bubble shape so that you can see that new color around it. That's really the purpose. I think I'll do one right here. And again, you don't want to put it too close to the edge because then you won't have a bubble to cut around. So you want it to be toward the side of the paper so that other people can use that, but you don't want it to be so close where you're not going to be able to actually cut around. Now, if I were to test this on my square, do you see how I have so much extra space there? That tells me I'm not done yet and I need to add a couple more layers. So I added one more, I tested it out, and it does fill the space now. So, and I also know that because it's almost touching the edge of the square. So I'm gonna go ahead, glue this down, and I already tested it out. I kind of held them up next to the different colors and I liked the way that it looked on this one. So I'm gonna go ahead, press that where I'd like it, flip it upside down, and flatten it into place. And I'm gonna repeat this step for all the different squares. So this is what it's gonna look like when your hearts are all finished. And this is our Kandinsky inspired heart art project. Let's see what you guys can come up with and all the awesome color combinations you can make.